Hey everyone, Tom here from Pizarro's Pieces, and we're back again with Big C for a video on his Hasbro collection, and we're just going to have a little chat about the Hasbro toys. Obviously, if you watched the last video, you would have seen us having a long old chat about WWF, WCW and up into the Attitude Era, just a general chat about wrestling. But this video, we're going to do a short video just talking about the 90s figures, the Hasbro figures. Thanks for coming again, Big C. How you doing?
No problem. Thanks for having me back. I enjoyed it last time.
Good stuff, good stuff. We've got a few here. You obviously weren't going to bring your full collection.
No.
You sort of only been concentrating on recollecting the Hasbros in sort of like the last 12 months.
That's it, yeah. I mean, I think like everyone, I just wanted to obviously the nostalgic element to it. I wanted to get a collection of them going again. I had a large collection when I was younger, so I was really up for trying to get them all back, basically.
Obviously, some of the loose ones I've got.
You've helped me. I
mean,
don't get me wrong. I think I'd say probably about 80% of them you've got for me.
I didn't get the carded ones for you, mind you.
No.
So you've obviously got two of the tag teams here on cards from Legion of Doom.
I have, yeah. I mean, I've got a few more carded ones. You know, obviously there's only so much I could bring with me.
Yeah, of course.
And like you say, you know, I've got something that could probably fill a small bedroom. The amount of these things I've got. But yeah, couple of English carded figures there. So.
And you've obviously, we were speaking earlier about how mint some of these loose ones are, and I didn't realise Big Boss Man being one of them. This is actually freshly opened from a card.
Yeah, my brother went into Camden Market last year.
Yeah.
Got a phone call. They got some Hasbros here, you know, on the card fresh. So I said, no, get them to me. As soon as I got my hands on them, there was a couple that I had to open them. I needed a Big Boss Man. I had him as a kid.
Some people are going to be watching this and they're going to be like, oh, you're opening toys that are 30 years old, 25 years old even.
There was also Sergeant Slaughter in that batch.
Yeah,
which
you
I
did
opened.
bring with you. And you said it's Hogan one as well.
And this Hulk Hogan here, obviously there's 4 different Hulk Hogans, I think, Tom, is that right?
I think there is, yeah. I think
yeah,
you're right,
4 Hulk Hogans.
At the top, yeah.
He's brand new out the packet. So these guys here are basically fresh, yeah.
Of course, we've got Demolition here. You've been asking me to try and source the masks for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, Demolition as a pair, I think it was Crush and Smash that came with the masks. Because obviously, there wasn't the trio that came with the masks. No. They are hard to source anyway.
Yeah,
so
I know that you're on the lookout for me on that
on the
one.
lookout for all of them for you. Not just the masks, but obviously other ones that you haven't got.
Yeah.
You're moving into the harder cards now.
I'm moving into the green, the dreaded green card ones, which obviously even loose I think are quite expensive. So basically what I've done is I've got all the ones recently that I used to have as a kid, the ones I liked, all the popular ones, and I am now down to ones where they were harder to get and there was less of them.
We were talking of Evil Crush, Adam Bomb's one of them.
Yeah.
The Guns.
Bart Billy Gunn.
I think there's a version of Razor Ramon as well, if I'm not wrong. That was
there. Yeah, Razor. I'm not sure if he was in the last series.
I can't
Evil
remember.
Crush
so many,
is the
Evil Crush is the one, and I said to you I had him at the beginning of the year, didn't I?
He didn't let me know. Just for everyone out there.
Someone else bought him, and they paid a lot of money for him. I didn't at the time. I wasn't aware of the sort of money that some of the Hasbros were going for. I knew that Adam Bomb, 1, 2, 3 Kids, another one.
Yeah.
Some of them were quite rare and loose. They were going from anything from sort of 25 up to £40. And Evil Crush seems to be demanding a little bit more than that. But they're becoming harder, and through Pizarro's Pieces, the business, I have been getting a lot of messages through Facebook and Instagram. There's a lot of guys out there who are recollecting the Hasbros, and I've sold dozens and dozens recently. And obviously I'll cherry pick the ones out that Big C hasn't got in his collection, which is how many you got now? You've got there was over 100, weren't there? I think
if you include all the tag teams, you include some of the the exclusives. The main figure line is 90 odd figures. I'm probably touching 60.
So there's still a few commons that you haven't got as well.
There's still a few commons, but it's basically I'm down to wrestlers in the last few series. Makes up
the
a bulk
harder
of
ones.
that. Yeah,
the purple card one of the last
purple
ones.
and green were the 2, and yellow.
Yellow, yeah.
I think any of those cards that wrestling, like I've said, it ties in with that 93, 94 time period. Wrestling was on its way out, in terms of popularity. So they made less figures.
They made less
demand.
figures. Yeah, there was the same as everyone though. Masters of the Universe did that. Thundercats did that. So
the first 4 or 5 series, you wouldn't go. No kid didn't have them.
Yeah,
it was almost
they was super common. They even like that, quite easy to get.
Exactly.
A lot of them,
the first, I'd say, series 1 to 5. You're not going to struggle. You're going to pick them up for a couple of quid loose on eBay.
Talking of that, in regards to how many were made and how easy they are to get.
Yeah.
They've stood the test of time, haven't they? So. Well,
we were saying earlier that some of these things have been smashed, for the last 20 years. And, apart from the odd paint defects, I mean, I like, the strict thing with me is I like them
as good as
possible. And, I'd like the action features to work. I like the accessories if they came with any accessories. But yeah, these things have stood the test of time. These are made of tough stuff.
Not like some of the toys that we're seeing out there today.
No.
These were built to. I mean, I had the ring, and I can remember having a lot of these. Certainly the Holdens, the Warriors, the Randy Savages, and it used to be a case of you would literally smash them in the blue ring, which was obviously the ring out at the time. Some
of the action features were a bit temperamental, and they would give up on you after a while. But in terms of the actual figure itself, considering the way they were used by such young kids. They're still standing.
Well, obviously, when you look at these now, and we are going to do a video on Mattel and Jack's figures.
Yeah.
When you look at these now, I mean, how do they compare for a start? And if they do, how do they compare? I mean, we look at these, and these were made for kids.
Yeah.
And I look at the Elite figures that are coming out now, and the Elite figures more so than the Jack's ones, I believe, are more for adult collectors than perhaps for kids.
Don't get me wrong. I think even as a kid, I knew these things could be something better. I would have liked them bigger. Even as a kid, I remember being a bit disappointed about the size of them. Most of them are a little bit cartoony. Some of them have no resemblance to the original wrestler, I don't believe. The Mattel, the Elites that you see now, they are the figures that I wanted to see as a kid. Properly, big, quite large-sized, fully articulated.
They're sort of like 6, 7
inch. 7 to 8 inch. So.
Which now is what a lot of toys, obviously, like the Marvel Legends and stuff, are all that sort of size now.
This is purely nostalgia.
Yeah.
That makes me, collect these figures. And
not so much for the love of or how they look, because, like I said in the next video that we do, a lot of the figures, some of the work that's been done on them is really good.
Yeah.
Mattels and that. So.
When you go for that cartoony style like these are gone for, they're more like caricatures of the wrestlers, and they lack proper detail.
Well, like you said, sort of like cartoon versions.
I think now as well, there's a clever thing going on now where they release wrestlers in a certain exact ring attire in a certain event and things like that, which obviously these are just purely standard
one-offs pretty much. I mean, Hogan had 4, I think, like you said. I think Warrior had 3 versions of him. Some of the bigger wrestlers, Randy Savage had several versions, but everyone else pretty much had one figure, didn't
for example, Well, I mean, that Randy Savage is Randy Savage from probably 87 to like 88, 86 maybe to 88. He looked like that. So it's a pretty just standard snapshot.
And these didn't come out till 90, did they?
Exactly. So by then, he would have been the Macho King. He would have dropped the Macho King gimmick, and by the time these come out in 1990, he was the Macho King by then.
Which they did. This is in the purple.
They did do a Macho King later on, but they certainly, you can tell these figures. I don't know if it was something to do with development, but they were they lagged behind. They were a couple of years almost behind what was going on in wrestling.
TV,
I mean, by 1991. The summer of '91, when these figures were all in Woolworths, every Woolworths you went to, they'd have a Smash. He was in one of the early series. Well, Demolition had finished by early to mid '91.
Yeah,
but yet the toys were just on the figures.
Yeah.
So the figures didn't keep up with the storylines or the looks of the wrestlers, which they're a lot better at doing that today.
Any particular favourites? Not perhaps here, but in general, or do you think? Is there any that stick to mind? I know obviously you're big on the Warrior and Shawn Michaels, but is there any that sort of stand out a little bit and maybe?
Not really. Like I say, I think these things look really impressive. They're colourful because of nostalgia reasons. Like I've said, having a big collection of them on display, I just think as a big, complete unit.
Yeah.
I think these figures look, are really impressive.
Are these guys going to be open sooner or later? You think, or
if I get the itch, Tom, then I'll be opening them.
We won't do it live on air. We might,
Yeah, but like I say, I've never been one to keep things on card. Really, a lot of things on card. I think toys are there to be, to get out, to hold, to have a look at, and to put on the shelf.
Yeah, I do. I believe the same. It's certainly in some. I mean, we was talking about it when I opened the Rocky video, the Rocky figure in the video, and I was getting a few people having a moan about it.
Yeah.
The actual box was quite battered
Yeah.
in a sense, but it'd be very different if I was, you know, like a He-Man or Skeletor figure that was on card. I'd very unlikely I wouldn't open it.
Yeah.
There's different circumstances. That Rocky figure only cost me £15, and I was happy to open it live. And these obviously cost you a little bit more. They're not a figure that's not available out there again if you wanted a better card. I mean, the cards ain't super great on these ones.
But I thought I've got to have, especially if you can find English cards for a good price. I think, you know, there's a lot of cheap Spanish and French cards going around.
Yeah, I've seen them. Yeah.
But certainly for me, they may not even stay on card, to be honest with you. I think if you've got no intention of selling them on, which I don't. You know,
I think that's sometimes
I think the only way you know you keep things, you know, mint on card is if you know you are eventually looking one day for there to be a sell on value. My collection's my collection, to be honest with you. I wouldn't get rid of it.
Away from sort of Hasbro, but sticking to 90 to 94.
Yeah.
The WWF, as it was known then, released obviously other merchandise and other toys.
Yeah.
What ones did you have? You remember the buddies?
Yeah, I remember the wrestling buddies. I had a big boss man. Like I say in the previous video, you know, I've got brothers really close in age, 3 of us, and one had a Jake the Snake, one had an Ultimate Warrior, and I had a big boss man. We had things like, you know, we all had mugs, lunch boxes, you know, the usual stuff, T-shirts, Bret the Hitman Hart's glasses. And
it was everywhere. It was the merchandise.
I always wanted the Legion of Doom foam
pads. Spikes, yeah.
But
of course the belts were.
I had a belt which was.
They made of foam as well, were they?
They were made like foam.
Yeah,
they were terrible.
They fall apart after.
Yeah, they weren't very good. You know, back in those days, you know that. Things didn't have a function, you know. They didn't intend for these things to look like the real thing. They were quite clearly a toy. Yeah, they were cheaply manufacturing this stuff to catch on to the craze at the time.
No worries. Well, look, like we said, we were just going to do a little short video on this. Thanks for coming in. Obviously, we've got the long video. If you haven't seen it already, me and Big C talking for about 30 minutes, I think. Long video of us talking wrestling, WCW, WWF, a bit of TNA and that, old, modern. But we're going to do our next video, which is going to be a joint sort of Jax. Jax and Mattel figures. You're going to bring a few along with you. You got some boxed and loose, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a few in the boxes. So I'll bring them along for the next video.
We'll just have a little chat about them. We can go into a little bit more detail with them because they are, compared to Hasbro's, obviously a little bit more detail. So thanks for coming again, mate.
No problem,
it's good to
mate.
see you.
Good to be here.
And we'll catch up with you in the next video. I hope you enjoy it, guys. Obviously, leave some comments in the box below. Don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and see you soon.